a polynomial, this is specifically a trinomial, 1, 2, 3 terms, right? How do I define what the GCF is? So the GCF, let me put it in red. So the GCF is the greatest coefficient. What is a coefficient? I spelled coefficient wrong. Hold on here. Coefficient. There we go. It is the greatest coefficient, meaning the largest number. Oh my gosh. The largest number, and this is located in front of the variable. So it is the greatest coefficient and or, let me put this in all caps, and or variable, right, you can pull out. What do I mean by pull out? Mean divide. There we go. Divide out. All right. Of each term. Let me capitalize each term. Each term. Period. Does everyone understand this sentence? Or just the letter. Everyone understand that you can pull out, meaning divide out of each term. So let's look at an example. What is the GCF of this trinomial? So I look. First, we start with the numbers. I got 5, I got 25, I've got 45. What do I know? I know the largest number that can go into 5, or I can divide 5 by, is in fact 5. Everyone understand that? Now let me check. Can I divide 25 by 5? I sure can. Can I divide 45 by 5? I sure can. So therefore, my GCF is 5. So this is how I do it. I'm going to write 5, and then I'm going to say times that by 1 gives me 5, and then times that by x cubed. That means it's going to be x times itself 3 times. So that means I'm going to have 3 x's multiplied to each other. Does everyone understand this? Yes? Yes? Okay, so now I go 25. Well, I know 5 times 5 gives me 25. And then I look, x squared. X squared means it's times x times x. Everybody understand how I got the second term? I'm breaking down the terms. That's all I'm doing. 45. Well, I know 5 times 9 gives me 45. And then x. I don't see an exponent. I know it's 1, so that means it's times x. Now I'm ready to find the GCF. So my GCF is going to be anything that lines up. So, hey, let me change the color. Undo. So let me go shape. Let me pick pink. And I see, hey, every single one of these terms has a 5. Now I check to see how many x's do they all have in common. So 1, 5, 9, they're not the same. X, X, X. Oh, they all have X, X, X. Then this doesn't have any more x's. This has 1 more x. Again, this doesn't have any more x's. Let me let Alexander LeBron in here. It's 11:15. LeBron, Tardy. So guess what? My GCF has to be 5 times x. So now I come over here and I'm going to write 5. Here comes Isaiah Thornton. So now my GCF is the 5x. And then I'm going to put parentheses. And I'm going to write down what I see is left. I see 1. Well, all right, I'm going to write 1. And then how many x's? Oh, 1, 2, so that's x squared. And then it's a plus. So plus What do I have left? I got a 5 left. So I'm going to write 5. And then how many x's do I have left? 1. So I'm going to write x. 5x. And then it's a plus again. So I'm going to say plus. And then I look. I've got a 9. And then no more x's. So I am done. Does everybody understand? Who is confused? Who is confused about how I got all of the parts? Anyone confused? Who is lost going, I don't understand at all? About what the GCF is. Remember, when we write it this way, what we're really doing is saying divide by 5, divide by 5x, divide by 5x, divide by 5x. That's all that we did. That's all that we did. All right. So now let's try this one. Again, when you have a problem like this and you are told, find the GCF, line up your terms. So I've got 3x to the 4th equal sign. And then I've got negative 9, x squared equals. And then negative 12x. And then equals. Now look at these numbers. 3, negative 9, negative 12. Well, what do you know? You know that, hold on here, let me go. 3 times 1 gives you 3. And then x to the 4th means times x 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. There's x to the 4th. Negative 9. Hold on here. 3 and 1. Hold on. 3 times negative 3 gives me negative 9. And then I've got x squared. So that would be x times x. Everybody understand so far? Good. Negative 12. Well, I know 3. You want to get something in common. So you're always going to pick 3. 3 times negative 4. And then x, no exponent, that's x to the 1st, which means 1x. So then you go back and now take a look. Let's see which one do they all have in common. Well, every single term has a 3 in common. And then 1, negative 3, negative 4, nope, not the same. And oh, I have 3 x's lined up. And then once they don't match up, I'm done. So my GCF is 3x. 3x. This is my GCF. GCF. And then I put parentheses and then I write down what's left. I got a 1 left, so I'm going to write 1. And then I see 3 x's. So that's x cubed. And then it's a minus 3 is what's left. So minus 3. And then 1x left. X. And then minus 4. And then no x's left. There's my answer. Everyone understand? I have now factored or pulled out the GCF and wrote down what's left. Everyone understand? Good job, Connor. Good? Good. Okay, so what the heck does factored form mean? Well, factored form means simplified. Simplified is, factored form is, I should say is a simplified polynomial, all right, with the GCF factored, or I can say pulled or divided out, all right, out, meaning GCF and what's left. Everybody understand what I'm saying? So if I tell you what is the factored form of this trinomial, you're going to write out GCF and what's left. Everybody understand? Thumbs up if you understand. No thumbs up from Alexander LeBron. No thumbs up from Javen. No thumbs up from Isaiah. No thumbs up from Leardis Hill. None from Abdi Malik. Mohammed, you're confused. Mohammed, what are you confused about? Unmute. What? left. Okay? If you write down GCF and what's left, this is factored form. If I tell you what is the GCF, you're only going to say 3x. Everybody understand now? Goody. So what is the factored form of this? Again, factored form means write the GCF, determine what's left. That's it. So again, we're going to go 4x to the 5th negative 24x cubed. And then we're going to say 8x equal sign, equal sign, equal sign. Well, look at the numbers. 4, negative 24, 8. What's the largest number that can go into each? Well, let me just start with the 4. What are the factors of 4? What two numbers can I multiply will give me 4? And I need the biggest one. So 4 times that by 1 gives me 4. X to the 5th means I'm going to have 5 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. This is x to the 5th. X times x times x times x times x. X times itself 5 times. Negative 24x. Well, if I got a 4 here, does 4 go into 24? It sure does. So I'm going to keep positive 4. It's a negative number, so I'm going to say, all right, 4 times negative 6 gives me negative 24. And then I've got x cubed. So that's x times itself 3 times. Notice I am lining up everything one on top of each other. Because if I line them up, I can clearly see what all of the terms have in common. So 8x, well, I know that's 4 times that by 2. And then I see x. That means x to the first power, 1x. And then I'm done. Now I'm ready to find out my GCF. Well, every single term has a 4. There it is. And then I move on. X, x, x. Yep, every single term has 1x. X, x, nothing. Uh-oh, problem. So I need to write factored form. So now I go back to my drawing. Factored form will be 4 and then x. 4x, parentheses. Now determine what's left. I got a 1, so I write 1. And then this is part of my GCF, so I move on. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's left, so that's x to the 4th. And then I've got a negative 6, so I write negative 6, and then what's left? X and x is left. So I write x, 2 x's, so x squared. And then I've got a 2, and it's positive, so plus 2. But I got no x's, so my answer is done. That's my final answer. Everyone understand? This is the factored form. Capiche? Goody. So now let's do it again. What is the factored form of 9x to the 6th, 15x to the 4th, 12x to the 2? No. Yes, 9 can be divided by 1. 15 can be divided by 1. 12 can be divided by 1. I'm looking for greatest common factor. David, you're saying 2? Okay. Is 9? I don't know what you're saying. Unmute.